just wanted to, talk about James Connolly and what he means to me. Being that, I was thinking a lot recently about this dream that I had when I was like 12 years old, where like I was in class and I had just found out that James Connolly was Scottish, which like blew my mind because I just assumed he was like Irish and stuff. And so I kept like having this recurring dream where James Connolly appeared to me as Shrek, because Shrek was the only person who I knew to be Scottish at the time. And just as like I like did a little illustration earlier, so like that's him. And like I don't want to get like too much information on it and all, but there's like definitely like sexual tension there in the dream. Like it's still like recurring, so sometimes he meets me in places that are like, my idea of heaven, such as the M&M's world in Leicester Square. And James Connolly, is that you? Yeah, it's me. You seem so different in real life. Well, that's because there's this common misconception that I'm Irish, when in fact I am Scottish. Oh, cool. Well, I was actually talking about the weird horny antennas and the waistcoat made of what seems to be stones. What's the deal? Why are you visiting me in the centenary year of 2016 in the M&M's World shop in Leicester Square? Well, Ciara, my friend, I have travelled through time and space and the fairy tale kingdom to warn you of a great curse that has infected the great nation of Ireland. What is it? Liberals. Liberals? Liberals. And he said that in like a husky, like kind of sexy. What's a liberal? Well, Ciara, a liberal, much like a fascist, claims to have everyone's best interests at heart, but in fact will do anything to uphold the values of the upper and middle classes. How awful! Where do these monsters live? Everywhere. And worst of all, they can exist inside of good people. An old acquaintance of mine called William Butler Yeats, and Yeats is dressed up as like Lord Farquaad from the first Shrek film, who gets eaten by the dragon in the end. Infected the soul of the people of Ireland with liberalism. For example, a child of Yeats might give their last fiver to a homeless person. A good deed. Yeah, but he will counteract that deed by sharing a video on Facebook of some sketch show comedians mocking and insulting the intelligence of blues drivers. They'll campaign tirelessly for amendments to the Constitution, but still believe that selfishness, corruption and greed is just human nature. They'll enjoy the comedy of Tina Fey. They'll argue that people who commit acts of harassment or violence against women should be locked up, but only when that person in question is a 16-year-old boy who threw an egg at the head of a woman who was actively imposing measures to keep him from living any sort of a comfortable life. They'll, okay, yeah, I think I get it now. But don't let that get you down. If we work hard to stop these kind of people from getting into power or having any influence over the media, I truly believe that one day excessive wealth will be eradicated, we'll all be liberated from class struggle, and the Irish Times building will go right up in flames. How will we do that? And then he pulls his finger out of his pocket and it's really long and has a glowing tip on the end of it in the style of E.T. And he goes, by being yourself. And he touches me on the hair. And then he's like, shh. Listen, I can't give you all the answers, but I can give you one, and that's love. I love you, Ciara. And I love you, Shrek. And then we and that's pretty much the end of the dream. It didn't even sound like that. So give it up for Grace Healy.
So first things first, I'll just get out this massive collection of stuff. Right. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a kind of an event podcast website thing called Mortified, but I just stumbled upon this recently and I thought, yeah, this is definitely the thing for me, people read out their old diaries. Apparently, it was very humid today. Okay, it was very close. So just forgive me. I like hopped straight onto the website of this thing. It's basically where it started in America. People get up on stage and they read their childhood diary, and everybody laughs, and it's catharsis. And I thought, yeah, I really, I love this. So I went onto their website and I found out that they were coming to Dublin last Wednesday, but I couldn't go. I was at a very important event, a charity fundraiser for a horse sanctuary. It's just, really important work. Horses, as we know, are the cats of the very wealthy. And so when I was at home in Mayo last weekend, I thought, well, I'll have to take them out anyway. And I found, as you can see, a very large collection. Get away, freakazoid. This one has a government warning. I wouldn't have it in the restaurant if Tara thought I was copying her, which I'm not. My mum said I should. I told her Tara's idea and she said I should do that too. But the 70s theme is great too. Whatever I pick will be good anyway. I wouldn't have it in a Chinese though. Or any other Italian restaurant except Torino's. A hotel restaurant would be nice. But my birthday is in 5 months, so we'll cross that bridge later. We got him after the Easter holidays. He's been doing a lot of music with us, like Grace by Joseph Mary Plunkett. And as I do a lot in this diary, when I come across a song or a poem that I like, I've written out the entire thing. And I've highlighted every time they say Grace. Because, I finally found, the song for me. So it gets to the point, the real life 24-year-old Grace is reading this, and I get to the point where it says, Verse 2, I know it's hard for you to ever understand the love I have for these great men, my love for this dear land. I hope you'll know the song. For when Porrick called me to his side down in the GPO, I had to leave my own sick bed to him I had to go. And I'm looking at this, and the name Porrick's written in red, it's got all hearts around it. And I was like, oh my god, was I obsessed with Porrick Pierce? When I was a child, did I have this pretty weird crush on Porrick Pierce? Because that's kind of problematic. We just built a playground in Westport. And it was the cool place to hang out for all the teens. And there was a wall, and you could go over the wall and hang out behind the wall. And it was really bold. And there's a bit in here where it's like, Grace, you don't want to be seen at the playground, like people would talk about you and how bold you are. But I was on a bad path. I was lost, and I was down at the playground. And another wonderful thing is that there's always drawings of people kissing. So my friend kissing her crush and me kissing my crush. And there's a different one for every sort of group of chapters. But the guy with the skateboard is saying, anyone who's anyone hangs out in town. Chain jeans guy goes, yeah. And then crop top girl goes, and it's cool to smoke. And then you've got little Grace with her glasses and her backpack saying, but why? I'm so excited, even though Santa's not real, which makes me want to cry, and my parents haven't even told me yet. Here I did though, but you always kind of know. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed next. I got school in the morning. Bye. P.S. We got the internet and it's so cool. Thank you.
For this great poet, Anna Walsh. I'm not going to be as funny or as charismatic as that, but I'm going to give you some poetry and a little short fiction, and I hope you like it. So this is called Living in Debt. If you do not have a child, you will not live in poverty. If you have a job you go to every day, you will not live in poverty. If you do not have another person to eat you up, you will not live in poverty. If you can drink and eat and sometimes smile, you will not live in poverty. You can live off the fat of yourself for as long as possible, and then you die in poverty, but it is a better thing than living in it. You stay thinking about going. You think about going all of the time, but you've nobody to go with. You watch the workers interact with each other in the cafe and try to guess if they're fucking or not, and if so, who's more invested in the relationship and who's just killing time. You do not think you're destined for a great love. You know you're destined for whatever you let yourself be destined for. You long to be unknowable, enigmatic, but you've too much to tell everyone. You want to know you're doing the right thing, so you can really put the effort in. You pull the blinds up every morning and down every night. You make the bed in the morning to get into it again at night. You take your clothes off to put on other clothes to sleep. Thank you. Get ready to be informed. She's going to blow your minds. Sarah Tapmaguire.
Hi James. Hi. So I'm going to be the Carrie Bradshaw of the evening, talking about all the important things. So maybe you saw the film Room, or maybe you saw Spotlight, and you probably felt human feelings like sadness and shock and horror, and I didn't. And the reason is, I work with survivors of symphysiotomy. There you go. It's not the kind of thing that's shareable amongst 20-somethings. It's gory, it's unsettling, and it can't be distilled into a headline. It can't be linked to our own experiences and our fights for equality, so to ourselves. It's a body part we didn't know existed. Worse, it's a woman's. What holds our skeleton together and our organs, the symphysis pubis, and it's severed. So it was performed on hundreds of women from 1940s to 1980s. A few cases of symphysiotomy have been reported in like 2011 and 2003 and more recent years. Ireland is the only country in the West to have done it. Thanks, Ireland. To pass kind of lead to the Institute of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, who refused to research into survivor experience. There was a state-mandated investigation into it, and the obstetricians and Institute of Obstetricians and Gynecologists could control what research and what went into that project. So they decided, like, let's not put any of women's medical records in it, because that wouldn't be published and that wouldn't be fair. So we have a scheme where this report on what was done without any women's experience or what kind of stuff women went through at all. And they controlled the report. So give some money, don't say sorry, hopefully this will all go away. So Murphy did a really good job for the state. She's been selected to do the Mother and Baby Homes inquiry. We don't know how many women or babies were killed by symphysiotomy. That there's only an estimate how many survived. We thought it was like maybe around 300 people. We need an investigation. So in July of 2014, the UN Human Rights Committee held that the payment schemes were in contravention of international law, and today there was a review of that. I don't know what happened because I've been doing an essay on the definition of death. Anyway, that's not a joke. Anyway, this seems to fit into the broader Irish trend of allowing religious institutions to evade accountability, and that was seen in the churches and with child abuse. The role of religion in symphysiotomy has been ignored. When awareness is low, so too is political will to take action. Without intense media pressure, there's no impetus for the government to provide an effective remedy. So symphysiotomy remains a political non-issue. It's questionable whether the story would have reached as large an audience were it not for the film, The Magdalene Sisters it's called. Does institutional abuse require dramatisation to be known or reported on? The government has done nothing to improve survivors. They want you to think the issue is solved and that this is a good job, but nothing could be further from the truth. And the Irish average citizen could be forgiven for thinking that. Sorry if this upsets you, but it's just Ireland. Thanks.
So give it up for the people of that.
I use a simple system. It's silent and I keep my eyes clean. While my cat is consistently kind and seems to seriously share my skinny policy, sure she must have just dropped out of her mama, because she's still so small. Something has driven the anthropomorphized film away, but you, my dear, will start off as a starlet, evolving eventually into a roller skate, as you become invincible, immovable to old jokes, catcalls, barefoot strokes, and post-kiss rejection ice storms. So this is about a cat that possibly had rabies. I went to see an apartment and she came in the window of the bedroom and started drooling all over us. They've come back. the black long-haired cat, drooling and that, but still affectionate. Does baby have wabies? Has baby got scabs? Does Baba have scabies and chunks off her back? Are you mangy angel? Do you need some food? Can I take you to the vet and nurse your boo-boos? Thanks. Before I finish, I can do one sort of trick, which is I can change direction. So I'm going to do that.
Thank you so much. So give it up for James Warner.
Hello. My name is James Moore. Has anyone here heard of the book Jameen by Podrick? Oh. Is anyone here? Is anyone here from the country? Podrick? Oh, fine. SIOCH FHORADHA. How do you say that? What? We can't go on. 1883 in Dingle. Where's Dingle? Carrie. Thank you. You're not completely stupid. That's like a joke my dad would make on Christmas. So what I thought I'd do is I'd read. I thought I'd do is I'd come up with some modern interpretation, not modern, really just new, historically accurate stories from Jimmy. Is that how you pronounce it? Jimeen. Is it Jimeen? Yes? You sure? Okay. Because if they're recording this, and I get this wrong. So what I figured I'd do is I'd read a bit of one of the stories. Because if I just read out my versions, you could be like, oh, that's perfect. That's exactly how I imagined it would be. But you wouldn't get the skill, the amount of work that I put into it. So what I thought I'd do is I'd read out a bit of one of the stories, and then I'd read out my versions. Is that okay? When I read out, do you want me to choose or do you want you to choose?
You choose.
No. The first one's called My Man. No. The second one is called Death to the Master. No. Here we go. The Wren. Excellent. A wren is a type of bird. So we're all on the same page. I can't pronounce all of these words. Chapter 6. It's not really a chapter. It's just it's like a collection of short stories. So don't be worried. Don't be like, oh, chapter 6. What happened in chapter 1? In chapter 1, he drowned a lot of cats. When I finished the dinner on Christmas Day, I went looking for Micheline Elm. I don't know who that is. We spent a while skimming stones, and then we smoked tobacco in a pipe. And these are children. But it was a different time. Traditionally, what a footnote is, it serves to like explain something. But this is really just added another layer. But we'll go on, and maybe it'll become clear. I should have explained this earlier. When they say we'll have the rain, what they mean is they're going to go out and they're going to find a bird and they're going to kill it. And they kill it, and then you prepare it in such a way. You don't eat it. You bring it round to your neighbours' houses, and they give you money for it. In chapter 1, he kills a cat, and what he does is he's like, his uncle mentions in passing, right? He's like, cats have 9 lives. And then Jermaine gets a cat and he puts it into a bag and then puts it into the river. And then he leaves it for a while. And he comes back. You know, he doesn't come back, he's walking past a while later. And he remembers. He remembers what he had done. And he goes, let's check. And he checks on it, and it's dead, of course. And he just goes, oh. Okay, cat started 9 lives. So these are my ideas. So remember what I've done is I've sort of examined this document. And I've distilled it using my own intellect. And then I've diluted it using my wit and my charm. That's horrifying. Bodies. That's why you always smell like rotting flesh. Do you mean? Well, I wish I never did it. Bodies. You don't say that. You mean? I mean it. I'm never coming back. Goodbye. Bodies. Okay, Jermaine, goodbye. You might be thinking, oh, he's a child. They wouldn't put a cigarette in a child's mouth. But they would. Think though, he's 7 or 8. He's probably been smoking for quite a while. Jermaine does. So there's the wake. The wake is good fun. Everyone's very disrespectful towards the court. And then he gets buried, right? And this is interesting. It's a bit of drama. Because if you recall the last video, he's recently fell out with the bodies. So let's see what they have to say to each other. Bodies. It's okay. Once you apologize, we'll put it behind us. You mean, I just did apologize. Bodies. That wasn't a real apology. You mean, what does that mean? I apologize. It's an apology. It's like Seinfeld. Bodies. We need you to grovel. We don't have anything to do, so we need you to grovel. You mean, I'm not going to grovel. I have some pride. Bodies. You have some arrogance. You mean, shut your mouth. Bodies. Fuck off. So when I say, all bodies are deserved like Lennon's body, it's like, no they're not. Lennon's body is, but Jameen's body wouldn't be. But for the sake of the story, it is. Because I say 100 years have passed, and to the acute observer, we'd go, decomposition. That's what they'd say. But for the sake of the story, we'll put it behind us. Will I start again? No. Normally people say no. Where was I? What was the last thing I said? What? That's not good. Jameen does. Bodies. Okay, we've decided that we don't like you. So we want you out. This is actually the Matrix. So pull out your head clock. Okay? Jameen, okay, goodbye. Your bodies, bye. And then Jameen pulls it out and he wakes up in bed. And that's that. I don't know if any of you are involved in the children's publishing business. But I have all my details here. So don't be afraid to approach me. Thank you very much.
Okie dokie, that was dark. It was very funny. Next up we have Roisin Kybert. She's going to be reading a short story. The little blurb that I have for her here is she is from the internet because I couldn't really think of anything else to say, and I think she's okay with that. So, Roisin Kybert, everyone.
Hello all, I am indeed from the internet. And I really hope none of you go to the same gym as me. I'm just going to read this now. Never Kick a Woman, a Popeye cartoon from 1936. They are played without fail every day that I visit the gym. And because all of the treadmills are pointed at this screen like some mechanized Orwellian hate, it's impossible not to watch them. I very quickly commit the cartoons to memory, then I decide I hate them both. Never Kick a Woman is about Popeye not kicking but hitting a woman, then throwing her into a fight with another woman that he's more attracted to than her. It opens on Popeye and Olive Oyl peering into a gym through a glass wall, not unlike the one on the side of the low-cost super gym itself. They watch a curvy blonde, heavily inspired by Mae West, pummeling a punch bag with expert jabs. Popeye turns to Olive Oyl and berates her for not knowing enough about self-defense. Then he attacks her and threatens to punch her until she goes into the gym with him. Inside, the blonde charms Popeye and calls him a fascinating monster. She lures Olive into a fight she cannot hope to win. Reeling from punches, Olive claws her way to a can of spinach, swallows it and progresses to knock out not only the blonde, but Popeye himself. In Mickey's Rival, Mickey and Minnie Mouse have a picnic gatecrashed by Minnie's spurned lover, a mouse boyfriend named Mortimer, who bullies and at one point electrocutes Mickey before fleeing an attacking bull. Mortimer's defining characteristics are his height. He looms over Minnie and Mickey, his tap dancer gait, and his overtly phallic nose. It is the nose of this oversexed rat mouse that gets to me. Wobbling suggestively, suspended above a sneer, it really does look like a dick. The moral of each cartoon, even if the hero triumphs in the end, is that bigger will always be better. Cartoon logic pervades the low-cost super gym, where sponsored protein milk murals decorate whole walls. The gym is open all night and all day, therefore work out all night and all day. The gym has machines for every muscle, therefore work on every muscle, and you will be big like Mortimer Mouse. For a while I was entertained by the day gym. I liked it for people watching. I became convinced that they were all in startups and likely all very wealthy. I began to harbour dreams of meeting a heartless tech libertarian millionaire husband. I bought discount designer workout wear in TK Maxx. I bought a phone holder from from Tiger which looked like a black Velcro tourniquet. I shopped around for a gym mascara which wouldn't bleed. But very quickly, I began to arrive and leave in a state of paranoia, watching those gym goers and wondering if they were watching me too. Around this time, Beyonce's line of athleisure wear called Ivy Park debuted at Topshop. I went and looked, thinking this is what people are meant to dress like at the gym, and I just didn't get it. I wondered if this made me a Becky. I began to fear the judgment, which is really white. I began to fear the judgment of women in the changing room for being too naked or not naked enough. At a spin class I attended at 7 a.m, they blasted a track by David Guetta and Kid Cudi. The lyrics ran, "All the crazy shit I did last night, these will be the best memories." Afterwards, I took a shower and I went home and I fell directly back asleep. More or less neurotic than anyone else in the night gym. And by being there together in the closeness of the night, we are affirming each other's neuroses. The machines hum and beat a curious rhythm, but we are out of step with reality. I go for days seeing no humans at all apart from those at the gym, and I start to wonder what the hell I am training for. Moving and moving like a dancing plague, or the worker chained to the wheel in Metropolis waiting to be saved by a robot. It's harder to sleep when I get home because my limbs are full of twitchy energy. To work out is a sign of self-willed automation. We might not have regular jobs, but still we act like robots. And we're not sure if we work out because we want to, or if we're doing so out of fear. For our guts and our hearts and our arteries, for our knees that will give out soon from running. We are running off the edge of the earth. We're not on the same page as daylight. We are a freak show behind a glass window, but at least we're being honest about it. The end.
So our last performer of the evening, she's just going to do a short set. She's the celebrity guest of the evening. She's on the telly. She's fucking gas. Alison Spittle.
Hello. I've been on telly. I was on Republic telly 3 years ago. You might have remembered Mickey that. Or I was in a documentary 2 weeks ago where I went to Edinburgh and had a small nervous breakdown in front of TV3. I think my last words on that documentary were, "I haven't validated myself as a comedian." So, yay! So it's been great because I've been listening to a lot of stuff and it's kind of like spoken word and stuff, and I normally do stand-up comedy. So I wanted to do a quick, different thing for you because you seem like a sound audience. So this is basically a few stories about piss. So, I'm not lying, I've written here. Piss is my friend. It's been there since I was born. And it's the type of friend that will, be honest with you and tell you stuff. Such as, "Hey Alison, you need to drink more H2O. Hey, have you eaten asparagus?" Or my favourite, cystitis. That type of thing. But I wanted to tell you a few stories about it. First of all, this is a very short one. I was at a holiday home in Wales and my cousin Anthony pissed on my head by accident. He thought I was shocked. We were about 8 at times, so it's fine. If we were 22, I'd be like, "Anthony, you need to sort out your life." And your family are doing intervention here. Stop pissing on your cousins. It's not right, Anthony. But no, it's fine. And the other thing was the other experiences I've had with piss. Once I thought I was pregnant, and I kind of oh, it's quiet here. Spoiler alert, didn't have it. I wasn't pregnant. It's not a confessional. But I do remember I was very upset because I just wasn't ready to have a kid, and I knew it, and I kind of had it in my head, like, if this was the case, I'd have to go to Alton Towers for a weekend. Cry on the roller coaster, and then bring up my child. One last fun weekend for us. would definitely not let me have a baby. Like if I pissed into a dock leaf and it just said pregnant, I would feel like nature has had its way, you know. So I was kind of laughing at the situation because I was very upset. I was in a friend's house and he said, look, go into the toilet there, try it out. So I pissed on it and it had its own little cap as well. So I brought it out and I kind of left it on the coffee table. And we were watching MTV Base and we were waiting. It was the equivalent of a Black Eyed Peas song. I had to wait to find out whether my life had dramatically changed or not. And I remember it was Don't Lie. It was a very important song. And then he was like, Alison, you have to put a piss stick on my coffee table, like you're my friend. But I'm like, I have other issues now. So that's it, spoiler alert, I wasn't pregnant. And now I'm going to tell you about the time, I'm a big girl, and no, it's not like I'm an adult now, right? And when I was a child, I kind of like pissed the bed on occasions. So much so that I didn't have my first sleepover until I was about 8, until I felt I was fully ready. And I remember I was so excited, my friends were coming around. The mobile library had just come to my school. I know. I got Spice Girls, the unofficial autobiography. Holy shit, did I learn so much. The C stands for Chisholm. And I went to this drama school with Denise Van Outen, and that blew my mind. I was like, could they be friends? But I was going anyway. I was going to sleep, and I was so happy because I had a big girl time. It was all good, and I just went to sleep going, "Don't piss the bed, don't piss the bed." And then my friend kind of woke me up and went, "You got the pissing all over me," and I was like, "I'm so sorry." Now, the last time I ever pissed the bed, I remember this. I was about 11, and my great grandmother had died. And the morning of the funeral, they asked me if I wanted to have a look at the body, and I was like, yeah. I'm a big girl. But I had I honestly, I panicked so much that I think I did piss the bed in fear. And because we were over in Birmingham, I was sleeping beside my mum, and she's like, "You're not ready to see any bodies." And I was like, "Yes, you're correct." So I had to wait a while. But this is the last story about piss. I'll tell you. I don't know how long I've done. I'll just check 2 seconds, and I'll give you the shortened version. Cool, right. Basically, what happened? I'll shorten it up for you, right? Are we okay? Was there whispering? No. Basically, what happened was I got robbed twice. I moved to Dublin. I got robbed twice and I got flashed within the space of like 2 months, right? And that was a recipe for a nervous breakdown. Basically, because I got robbed in my house, I didn't feel safe in my own house, right? So I was always scared that some lad was going to come out with my hot press and steal my laptop. Like, that was my fear. It was really bad. But because I got flashed, and I got flashed in the really weirdest way possible as well. I was cycling really slowly because I was a bit drunk. And I deserved it. Like an old wives' tale. I was cycling home drunk. But I heard this, hello. Oh, hello. I was like, that sounds far too much like a flasher to be an actual flasher. And I looked around, there was this fella, and he was waving like this. He's been, what is he waving at? Lo and behold, exposed genitalia all over the shop, right? And I was so scared. Like, I cycled home as quick as I could, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! And that was my reaction. And my flatmate had heard me scream from outside, and she brought me in. She's like, "Do you want a cup of tea?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I had a cup of tea, because if a cup of tea doesn't cure you, you're fucked. Like, there's something seriously wrong. The guards came around, and they were really sound. What they did was they took down like a lot of information. They asked me, what did he look like? What was he wearing? And I was like, can't I'm a comedian, I just think of like overly descriptive things for everything, you know? And I was like, he was dressed like a member of the Backstreet Boys from the late 90s. And the guard was like, okay. And I can just imagine the guard like 10 minutes later going, "Nick Carter is struck again, you guys." It's insatiable. But back to the piss, right? So I was afraid to go out of my house. And the thing was, right, I couldn't leave my room. I just became really, really stuck in my room. I was stuck in my room for about 2 days. And the problem is with like modern times now with Netflix, that can definitely cover up a nervous breakdown pretty quick. Because you're like, oh, it's not that I'm afraid to leave the house, it's just I really like House of Cards. Just watch another episode. So I was watching it and like my room is not ensuite. And like my brain was going, Alison, you're going to have to leave the house for your sanity. You're going to have to leave your room at least. And I was like, no. And it's like, come on, like, you're going to need to piss eventually. And I was like, and I was like, if I keep my piss in for long enough, it'll feel like an exercise, like Kegels or something. And then I was thinking, why would I need to exercise? I'm not going to pull a lorry or something. So then, this is it now. The voice in my head went all MacGyver and I saw an empty pint glass on the... and I did not in the end. Basically, I better head. I'll tell you though, what happened was my mind goes, no, you can't piss into a pint glass. Can you piss into a pint glass? Is that what you're going to do? And then my head went, actually, can you piss into a pint glass? Like, is that possible? And ladies and gentlemen, it is. But while I was doing it, because when you do a mental thing, you focus on the actual like mechanics of it, you know. You're doing a crazy thing where you're like, oh, don't get it on the carpet. But I was doing it and I was like, ooh, not bad for a person without a penis, huh? Which is my life's motto now. I'm going to head on that. You can have a great night.
Just want to say thanks to everyone for coming, and I'm probably going to be in the carriage bar, and I really get to the rest of the James Conley Festival this week if you can, because there's loads of great stuff on. Can't think of anything off the top of my head though, throw things at me.
There is a play on tomorrow,
There's a
Lockdown.
play.
On Friday night there's a
Friday night.
night of traveller culture,
Night of Traveller
which is
Culture.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Saturday night is a play as well.
Ah.
And Sunday it's an hour here to commemorate the great man, because Sunday is the day we commemorate Mr. James.